Welcome to the Midweek message. We're taking some lessons from Ecclesiastes, and we're starting today in chapter 7 and looking at verses 13 through 14. Ecclesiastes 7:13. Think of the work of God, for who is able to make straight what he has not made straight? In the day of well-being be happy, but in the day of trouble think about this. God has made the one as well as the other, so that men can never know what is going to happen. Now those are verses 13 and 14 of Ecclesiastes 7, taken from the New Life version of the Bible. Let's look at them individually. Verse 13. Think of the work of God, for who is able to make straight what he has not made straight? When we consider our lives, and we consider the state of the world, and we think about tragedy and triumph, one of the things we have to take into account is that God is in control of everything. Think about the work of God. No one is able to change his plans. Even things that we consider to be in the realm of the free will of humans do not change the ultimate plans of God, because God's will is always accomplished regardless of what we do, and everything that is achieved or worked through in this life on the human basis feeds in and works into the plan of God. Think about the plan of God. You can't change his plan, and you can't straighten something out that he has made crooked. You can't make something crooked that he's made straight. God shuts doors and no one can open them, and he opens doors and no one can shut them. Think about that. And verse 14, in the day of well-being be happy, but in the day of trouble think about this. God has made the one as well as the other, so that man can never know what is going to happen. Considering the work of God and everything being within the plan of God, consider that the day of well-being is made as well as the day of trouble by God. These are parts of God's plan as well. And so when the day of well-being comes, or the day of gladness comes, the day of goodness comes, be happy. This came from the hand of God. But in the day of trouble, consider that God made that as well as he made the day of gladness and happiness and joy. And that people never know ultimately what is going to happen. And the scripture says to us that our lives are like vapors. They appear for a little while, they vanish away. It also says that we don't know what's going to be from one day to the next. And so we live every day under God, understanding that we don't know the future, but God does. And all things that are accomplished in this life feed into the plan of God.